Album review. Today's album is Lift Me Up by Tyrone Wells. We're joined by myself, Denver, Joe.
Hello.
Will.
Oi, oi.
And Aidan.
Tyrone.
Tyrone Browno guy.
That's literally what the file is saved as.
This may sound racist, but I swear Tyrone is that only white guy called Tyrone.
Well, this Tyrone here.
I know a white guy called Tyrone.
Yeah, but is he white or is he mixed race?
Oh my god.
Yikes.
He's white.
I mean, I don't know. His
In the
album cover
picture,
looks a bit painted.
it does. His album cover looks like.
Hang on, I think I've seen him before. Doesn't he go around killing people?
Isn't he? Is it Hitman?
Oh, very good.
Oh my!
Tyrone
I needed to
Wells.
turn around so I can look at the back of
Oh,
his
he does
neck.
have a wiki, so he's bigger than Flood is Red. Oh yeah, he's a white guy, isn't he?
He's a whitey. For real.
Big old white Tyrone.
He's definitely a white guy.
One of them dirty whiteys.
Oh, I didn't do the classic.
I can't even see him with his album thing on with his profile on Spotify.
Shut
I
up,
can't see
Joe.
him. Okay.
He has something in
Shut
common
up.
with you, Joe, in that he looks much
I
better on
noticed
his cover art.
And I've noticed his monthly listeners have gone up since we've started listening to the album. So before we started, before it was announced, it was on 555,000 monthly listeners.
We're
He's now in the
influencers.
600,000s.
We're influencers.
What's going on?
Anyway, Tyrone.
Tyrone, yeah. I was going to say, obviously, that I have the file saved as Tyrone Browno guy, purely because of the XCOM guy who was.
It is an
He was,
XCOM
he was
reference.
partnered with Joe, wasn't he? I believe.
Yes, and
they were,
Joe
they were
survived, I think, but Tyrone did not.
Tyrone died on. I think was it his first mission?
Yeah,
Fucking
because it was
goddamn it,
Tyrone and Joe were they were the espionage secret crew, and then they had to actually do something for one mission, and it went horribly wrong because they failed their
about right.
espionage.
Why is that just Joe to a T?
It is literally, isn't
But
it?
Joe did survive.
I fucking
Don't worry,
love it.
guys. We've always got Joe. Oh, wait.
Literally, I'm the little worm that always seems to survive, but no one wants him.
Aw.
Radiation blast. You still survive.
Oh god! Right. Yep. Carry on.
Joe is kind of like a cockroach, isn't he?
I'm
In the sense that he doesn't die when you hit him with a shoe.
like a wart that keeps growing back.
Oh, God. That's a horrible
Yeah.
image.
You'd think that you'd grow to love it eventually, but you don't, and you constantly try to remove it.
Do
But
warts
you just
grow
think-
themselves
But
back?
you just accept that it's a part of you. You know.
I don't really know, to be honest. Do they?
I think
Well,
they
Will,
do.
you're a
I think they
medical
can.
expert.
Go on,
I
Will,
have no
medical
idea.
expert.
I've never read a war, I don't think.
Oh, all right, flexing. I had a walk.
Because
Isn't
I
it
do
a
something
wart?
called shower.
Never.
Got me there.
Isn't a wart just a really big spot?
No.
That's always what I thought warts were.
No, then that's not what they are.
Fair enough.
But what's the difference between a wart and a boil?
Boil's
It's
a
like
really big spot.
A boil is
what
about
was on
100
Nanny
degrees.
McPhee's face.
Shut up, Denver. That was
For
such a
fuck's
bad
sake,
joke.
So there's a wart, a boil, a spot, a freckle, a mole.
I fucking hate this conversation.
No, but it's interesting.
Tyrone.
I feel like I need to know.
Tyrone.
Top 10 warts.
Number 10.
You won't believe what's at number 5.
When you get one of those spots in the middle of your back and it's really difficult to pop.
Top 10 Minecraft creatures
Go to
I
the
would like to
doctors.
kiss.
Burger King foot lettuce. Tyrone.
The worstest song, in my opinion, was. We okay, guys? Who
Yeah.
coughed?
It was me. I did. Yep. Sorry.
It sounded like someone in the background, though.
Yeah,
It's
it's
just
just I
like-
moved away from the mic in hopes that you wouldn't hear me.
Right.
But he failed to just think, why didn't I just mute my mic?
I thought this was going to be like someone was stood in the back of your room, just waiting.
She's like, I'm waiting for Joe to finish album review.
That would be really creepy if someone was just stood behind me and I had no idea, and then they just coughed.
Famous YouTuber and songwriter JMMD killed in his room after man coughs behind him.
That's me.
Number 2 will surprise you.
I can't believe
The
that
thing
was
is,
number 1.
They're always disappointing, though, aren't they?
Well,
Yeah.
those top 10s.
Yeah,
The one where it's you see at number 10 and then 18 ads. Number 9, and then you get to about number 5 and you think, I've seen a lot of ads now. I know this is clickbait. But what
I'm
if it
gonna
is
do it.
interesting?
Now, word from our sponsor, Raid Shadow Legends. No, I watched one actually that was just like fucking top 10 creatures in the sea or some shit like that, like dangerous things. And the picture was really cool. It was like a weird like kraken monster thing, and I was like, oh, like that'd be cool if that was in the sea. And like number 1 was just like, this jellyfish is the most poisonous jellyfish ever. And I was like, this has been a bigger letdown since the president wasn't assassinated.
Imagine if Steve Batchel's Deadly 60
I was thinking that. I was thinking that so much.
was a
Oh my
BuzzFeed
God.
article.
It basically was, because they fucking pulled the rug out at the end, didn't they? Number 1 deadliest creature is man.
Oh yeah, I forgot that.
I don't think I ever saw all 60, but man, I saw number 1 and I felt
And that
ashamed
made-
of myself.
That made me not want to see the other 60.
They probably
wanna
thought they would
know.
never get to number 1. They probably didn't think the show was going to last that long.
I'm kind of
So they
curious
got
to
to
know what was
number
number 2 then.
It was probably something stupid, like a fucking Bengal tiger or something.
What I
I
want to
just
know.
love that. I love that guy. What's his name? Coyote Peterson. That does all like the.
Oh shit, he's really good at
Just
it.
get
he
stung.
himself, he gets himself stung all the time, and he's like, "I wonder what's gonna happen when I get stung by this tarantula hawk." And then he gets stung, and he's like, "Oh, it fucking hurts!" And then that's it.
Just literally repeat every episode.
Literally.
I'm about to enter the sting zone with the fire ant. Oh, it hurts!
Literally,
Really?
and
And
that's
the
it.
camera guy always comes along. He's like, "Is it bad?" He's like, "Oh, it's bad."
What show is this?
It's
Have you never watched Coyote
so
Pig?
good.
No.
So
Oh
good.
my
It
god.
was on Conan once as well. It was so good.
Oh, Conan the Barbarian.
The thing is, not every video is like that, but
I mean, it
Um,
is.
Most of
definitely
them
is.
are. One that wanted
he
to
only
be
occasionally
fire
does those
snapping
sting
tail.
videos.
He stopped doing them now, hasn't he? Because he did like the baddest sting of all time.
The baddest.
It was mad.
He was
The
like,
baddest.
oh my
He's
god,
got
guys. He was like, oh my god, I think I found a new species. And then like he took it and he was like,
Really?
no, it's a very common wasp. And he was like,
Oh.
and it's not on the sting zone. And then he stung himself with it, and apparently it was like the worst one. And he said, that's it, I'm not doing it anymore. There you go.
He just painted a dog purple. He's like, "What's this creature?"
It's a new
I really
species.
like him. I think he's ace. He gets super excitable though, doesn't he? Like it's like all
That's the
over
thing.
the top.
It's probably not helpful for him to have that much blood pulsing around in his vans.
No. Bless him.
Sorry, back to
Sorry.
Tyrone.
Oh no, sorry, Joe. You do the segue then. Fuck you.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, back to
We
Tyrone.
never do the segue this early normally. Like we've not said anything about the album at
the
all.
worst song on Tyrone's what's his last name?
Wells. You
Wells.
should
No,
know that
that's
one.
me. What's his?
Wells.
Ah,
That's a terrible dad
I mean,
joke, by the
in
way.
fairness, though, we look alike.
Mm.
I
You're
mean,
both
you look
bald.
identical.
Both got
both
lovely
18.
beards.
Both kill people for a living.
Did you just say both 18?
Both
Yeah, both 18.
both black.
um,
I can say the N-word.
Sorry, in Denver's word, both.
Mixed race.
Oh,
Yes, sorry,
don't
both
say
are.
that
To be
word.
fair though, in 2 of his album covers, he looked mixed race.
I really don't feel like
the word.
you can't say that.
You can't say mixed race.
No, that is genuinely not a good term.
Is it?
Yeah,
Apparently not.
genuinely.
I only learned this a couple of months ago. I thought that was just a very like.
I thought that
Yeah, I
was
thought it was
what are you
not.
supposed to
Oh,
You
say?
have to cut all this, by the way.
I
But
think you call him
Mixed race.
you know,
they call him
So what do you
dog.
call
No,
them?
keep it in,
African
keep
American.
it
No, because they're not black.
in. Keep it in. It's fine.
I'm gonna Google this. Correct terminology.
Mixed
Google-
race?
There you go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's it.
There you
Mixed
go.
race. What I'll do is I'll just crop where I said mixed race, and I'll just add that back in.
If you do it now.
Mixed race.
Right, we'll clean cut that and then just repeatedly put it in every time you said mixed race.
Perfect.
It sounded like a Google Translate.
Well, that's what I used before.
Yeah, trash.
Oh,
Trash.
God. It's going to work
The
perfectly.
worst song. The worst song!
Right, you've given me lots of bits where I can cut that in, because you've said that many times. That's brilliant. Sorry.
Well, I'd just like to give you options. Worst song.
You don't even...
My worst.
Did you not want to say anything else about the album first, or do you?
Oh, yeah, sure, why not? Yeah, I mean, it was slightly worse than I thought it was going to be.
Okay.
To be honest. Like, I didn't expect a whole lot, being as most of these 30 Minutes albums have been absolute trash.
Yes.
But
Yeah,
like,
actually.
I was like, man, this might be the exception. And, you know, it's not bad. It's not good. It's all right. That's my professional opinion. I didn't really write much about how it actually was. I more wrote about the songs themselves.
Right. Hence...
I don't know Tyrone personally. Like, he left me when I was a young lad.
He's not... This is where you realise he's actually a relative.
Older brother Tyrone left me, and now he's making music. And I was like, I want to be just like Tyrone.
Is
And
he
that's
English?
He is American, so he could have been African American.
That's not mixed race.
Oh my fucking god!
So yeah, it was an alright album overall. Worst song was "Dear God." The reason I say this is, first of all, there's a better song called "Dear God," which immediately.
No.
And
Avenged Sevenfold.
honestly, there wasn't enough there in the actual song for me to warrant coming back to it. Like, there wasn't enough to it, and even by the point that there is stuff to it, I'm already disinterested. Like, it gets to a point where like the drums kick in and stuff like that, and you're just like, well, I'm already not committed to this song. Like, quite frankly, it can fuck off. I don't need it anymore, and that's the reason it was my least favorite. It wasn't particularly bad either, and I feel like his singing isn't bad. Not like he's a good singer, but like I don't ever really feel like he's putting a lot of effort behind it. In some of them he does, and like I'll end up coming to that. My third favorite was "Lift Me Up."
Emosh.
Yeah, it had some really great vocals and really great lyrics, but and this is a big but. I'm not huge on the actual hook, the soul hook, like the chord progression that underlies the entire song.
Okay.
Which is why it's only at third. Because although the actual song itself was good, like that, there was the background bit that was just a bit like, and it could be better. I feel like that kind of sums up this album. Could be better. But then again, I don't know Tyrone. Maybe this is him at peak ability. One thing
did very well, I don't think.
One thing that I sort of found from a couple of other ones is that they all had big builds with the instruments like gradually being brought in one by one, and that kind of like it created like a sort of like an alright song. It ended up like basically bringing in all the instruments, and then it built, but it never surpassed like a certain point. It never got bigger and bigger. It's sort of like. It was like that. That's big enough.
It's like he liked the power, so he thought, rather than embarrassing myself, we'll just cut it there.
We'll cut it. Yeah, we'll just stop it here. It's like if you were a child and you grew all the way up to like 4 foot or whatever, and they were like, "That's enough. Stop right there. You violated the law.
I want to keep you cute."
I want to keep you cute.
And
yeah.
then-
So what happened?
No, because then you just end up
that
growing
sounds a
up
bit-
an old, small person.
And
Wouldn't know what
nobody
that's
likes
like.
an old small
That
person.
sounds
No.
a bit pedo-y.
What does?
An old, small person sounds Pete. Jesus,
No, I
what
think
is
you
wrong with
meant-
my...
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'll just slow my words a bit there.
Listen here. Eat your Lunchables and go back to school.
It's
You'll
a
be
tacker
fine.
snack, actually.
Oh.
Who the fuck says tacker snack?
What was the ones with the nice little garlic sticks?
Darily, Dunkers.
You're thinking of Dib Dabs.
No.
Darily
Knickknacks.
Dunkers.
Do you remember Knickknacks, the crisps?
Yeah.
That's nice.
They were great.
We used to have them at Christmas.
They were probably literally cancer in a packet.
They're a bit too
Probably.
spicy for me.
Classic white people. This bread is hot.
If only you were mixed race like Tyrone.
Oh, for God's sake.
But I don't know. That being said, like the songs themselves lack variety for the most part, and I think that this could be based on the style that he's chosen for his music.
Mm.
And as a whole, it seems to be like a recurring theme throughout the album. Number 2 was "World at Our Feet." So it immediately hits you with the song is more than it seems kind of thing. Like, it starts off, you're like, it's another one of classic Tyrone. You know
It's
what
a
I mean?
classic Tyrone.
It's coming in, and you're like, oh, it's acoustic or whatever. It's gonna be, but then like you get a drum beat, and the drum beat kicks in. You're like, oh, where's this going? Where's it going? And it just like yanks the wool off your eyes. It's like, fuck yeah, this is bopping. This is hot shit. And you're like, whoa, God, I didn't expect this, and like I really enjoyed it. It was because it made you think it was a similar style to the other ones. It ended up being like a really refreshing change of pace for the album. You're like, oh, fucking like nice. I got a rare shiny in this Pokemon pack. Oh, also Tyrone's good now, and that's what I think. But number 1, and it's gonna suck. But like, Something About Her was my number 1. It's basically a wedding song, pretty much. And like, it is a wedding song, isn't it?
Yeah, it is really good.
And I'm a real sucker for mushy love songs. I love them.
Not played at a lot of weddings though. It's one of his least played on that album.
Well, I'm going to play it at my wedding.
Don't think you are, though, are you?
I hope you're all right with that, Will.
You're never going to get married.
You're right with that, Will.
Wow.
Oh,
Wow, Joe.
That's just,
I know, that was really
that's
brutal.
just like,
What the fuck?
that's like, fuck you, Aidan. You ain't never getting married.
I mean, probably not, because I have really, really bad commitment issues, and I can't ever force myself to like wholeheartedly give myself to anybody for fear of rejection.
Oh my God.
Oh my god. I hope you feel bad now, Joe.
Well, that's fucked me, innit?
Joe, that means now you've got to marry him.
Aidan, if I'm not married by 30, we'll get married.
Oh no! Fucking hell, you're ugly.
Aidan, will you marry?
I can't make that commitment because according to some soothsayer or whatever they're called, I'm not getting married till 32.
Sorry, the what?
You know those like people who predict your future.
Are you allowed to say? Is that what they're called, or is
I don't
that the
know.
racial term for them?
Is that another racial term?
You fucking soothsayer! Don't you tell me my future?
Me and Aidan got that done once, and I think they said that Aidan was going to go into prison, and one of his best mates was going to have to bail him out.
Is that what happened?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was what was said.
I'll probably go to prison for murder for you, and Will will bail me out.
Person who speaks the truth. That's what soothsayer means.
Ah, soothsayer, yes.
So what you're saying then, Denver, is you went to see a liar.
I usually just go, I'm off to see the gypsy.
Oh, well, guess we'll just throw that one into the ring.
No, that is. I've never heard that, but that is genuinely.
Soothsayer. I don't know where I've heard that
A
term
fortune
from.
teller is also known as a soothsayer.
Ah,
Someone who claims
See, I
to be
didn't
able
know
to
that
predict
either.
the future.
So did you just think I just made up a word?
Yeah.
no.
It was like
no,
a term, but it sounded slightly like it could have been a
It was way too specific to not be something.
stereotype word.
Also, Joe there admitted that he didn't believe you originally, and then backtracked.
It's like, no, I didn't. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, I did. Yeah, I
But he did it in
didn't
the
believe it.
background.
Do you think I just made up a word? Yeah, no.
And like,
Oh,
if
Joe.
you don't listen to Joe normally, like I usually don't, you wouldn't have caught that. But like, out of the corner of my ear, in my peripheral hearing,
At the
Sure, I
corner
heard
of
him.
your drum.
Who said that?
It's Joe with his headset on backwards again.
No, there's just someone stood behind me coughing. It's all good.
Oh, God.
Oh shit!
So yeah, like, fucking Something About Her. Really, really enjoyed that song. Although one gripe that I do have with that specific song is the first two notes of the bridge. This is like getting really nitpicky. The first two notes of the bridge in the song "Something About Her," although deliberate, did not butter my biscuit. Like there was something grating about them.
I'm just gonna have a quick listen to that.
You do that, but
This is where it just comes out full blast.
in retrospect, yeah, really enjoyed it. Didn't really enjoy it. Sorry, Joe Mid would lie.
That's a Joe
Cut
Mid.
that. Now you got to cut it now.
Oh, fucking hell! Let's not start that again.
No, but you have to cut that part.
Trash.
Now you do.
Yeah, I see what you mean, Aidan.
It's like them first two notes kind of don't work, but then it builds to something.
It's almost like
better.
he tried to do a key change, but then didn't.
He backed out. He dipped his toe in key change and was like, "Oh no!"
But then, like Kanye, he's like, "No, it's perfect now. Leave it."
I'll sing in whatever notes I
Again,
want.
just more throwbacks to his true.
If anything, what I class as the real and truest 30 was the first Kanye album we did.
I think that was one of the lowest rated for a while, wasn't it?
It was. It was the lowest rated.
It still is one of the lowest.
Well, until I started bringing out those metal albums, you know.
Yeah.
But even them, they were more than Kanye because you kept giving all of them a 9.
Yeah.
You were like, "This is the perfect album. I could listen to this while doing my washing."
It's so relaxing.
I feel like that's the problem with metal music as a whole. Is just like you could never see yourself doing anything productive while listening to it.
Well,
you're looking after your child or whatever. It's in your arms. You're rocking it, and then metal comes on. You start like shaking it around like a fucking yazoo.
I disagree because like metal music for me gives me like this feeling of almost like euphoria.
Metal music is drugs for you.
Is that what that means? I don't know what that word means. If I'm honest, I just thought it meant really nice.
He'll just start shouting.
Euphoria is like an out of body experience, isn't it?
That's not what I meant.
It's almost like
I mean, like it gives me like almost like
you're high, basically.
I'm like, it's so good.
Buzzing.
It does give me a little bit of high.
It's like I tell you what song always gets me really productive, especially like around the house in that perfect situation. LA Devotee.
I mean that is like a proper like
that because we have Alexas in several rooms in the house. Whenever I'm doing certain jobs or like making breakfast or whatever around the house, tell Alexa to play that song, and God, I've made breakfast and eaten it so goddamn fast.
Mine is actually Earth, Wind and Fire, September.
Oh no,
Do you remember?
But that's the credits. That's what you play as you're leaving the house.
No.
That's the ultimate credits song, isn't it? It's in all the Adam Sandler films.
Yeah, true.
It is a great song though.
Fuck Adam Sandler.
What?
Wow.
I hate Adam Sandler.
You hate Adam Sandler?
Oh god, any movie he's in just makes me cringe.
What about Click? You remember Click with the remote?
Oh, I didn't like Click though.
I did.
Was he in
fact,
Happy Gilmore?
Yeah.
I think the only film I've ever liked by him is like the first Grown Ups. I thought that was good, and that wasn't because of him. That was because of the other cast.
Brilliant. That's my album review.
Okay.
I enjoyed it, but not enough. Need more
never,
Tyrone.
Well,
I think that this album was average. I'm a bit of like conflict with this album, to be honest, because I like the acoustic backing a lot. I think all the backing to it was really good. I think like the production was really good on the album, surprisingly, because I didn't think he was going to be like, because he's not that like he hasn't got that many monthly listeners. Usually that's the saying that they're going to not have great production, but I thought this album actually did have really good production.
There's 500,000
monthly list, yeah, but in retrospect, in like a big, I suppose, yeah.
Yeah,
but even
that's a lot of people to make a good living out of as well. And you got to think as well. That's just like Spotify.
Yeah, but if you look, he's living off the high of a previous album by the looks of it.
Yeah. Not his first. I don't know.
Like his most
He's actually
popular.
done quite a lot of albums, hasn't he?
Classic
Mixed race.
grounding on money.
So can we start?
I don't know. I just didn't expect for the production to be that good, but I think it was on this album, and I think he's got a nice voice. Don't get me wrong; it's not fucking great, but it's all right.
He just doesn't project it, and I kind of wish that he did, just so I could hear what it was like.
Yeah.
There was only one
Yeah.
that he did really, and I think that was it World at My Feet, or was it Lift Me? I think it might have been Lift Me Up that he kind
Yeah.
of projected it a bit more in.
Yeah. I don't know. I think it was just one of them where I think there wasn't any like bad songs really. I just don't think any of them are really like got to me, if you know what I mean. Like none of them. I'd probably never listen to this again, or pretty much any of the songs, because like I don't find
he's so upset now.
because I just don't think that it's just a bit underwhelming. Whereas it's not bad, but it's just there's enough. I don't think there's a lot going for it. I don't think any of the songs are that memorable. Or
I don't think you could say that to Tyrone's face. He looks like the kind of guy that'd be a real ugly crier.
he does look like he'd be quite upset, doesn't he?
True.
Oh, he's got no concert listings.
He'd probably assassinate me as well, being a hitman and all.
Nice, very good reference. Bring it back. He did a Christmas album. Holy shit!
Great.
Fuck yeah.
He reminds me of like what I'd say is probably
Agent 47.
shit Harry Hudson. Like
Did someone say Harry Hill?
Harry Hudson.
They're all bald.
I think it's very
No, he
similar
reminds me.
style to go on.
Dwayne the Rock Johnson.
Yeah, like Jason Statham. Let's think of some other bald
Vin
guys.
Diesel.
Vin Diesel.
My manager.
Barack Obama.
Obama, yeah.
What?
Of
He's not
course,
bald, but that was just
Tyrone
great.
is Barack Obama. Let's do the maths. How old's Tyrone?
That was the worst thing. Oh my god.
Tyrone. Oh, his age isn't listed on his wiki.
Weird. Shall I ring him up?
Tyrone.
DM him.
Age. Nobody knows his age. Oh, hang
He
on.
looks like he's in his 30s.
I'd say late 30s or
Early
40s.
30s.
33.
I said. That's what I said.
He said
Obama.
late 30s, bitch.
I want to.
Obama is. Obama's 33. It
Oh
checks
my
out.
God.
That's not actually true, is it?
No, Obama's 58.
Tyrone Wells is.
But wait, what if Obama's his dad?
Hey, I've done the math. It checks out.
This explains
Obama
why
was
I'm not
25.
gonna
Obama's
say that.
illegitimate child with a white woman. Tyrone.
Coincidence.
I did not. This is fucking AIDS. This is so bad.
Oh, God, this is the worst content we've ever made.
So I'm going to move on and carry on.
Yeah.
I just think, it reminded me of like shit Harry Hudson. I think some of the styles and the way some of the songs of these were, like with like the backing singers and stuff, was very Harry Hudson. But like, whereas Harry Hudson had like some songs that were very, like I go back and listen to that album a lot, but this I just don't think really had anything going for it in the long run. So worst for me was Dear God. Pretty much everything that Aidan said I agreed with. It didn't really have anything going for it, did it really? It was just, the chorus wasn't really anything. And when the drums came in, didn't really interest me anymore. It just, nothing about that song was really that.
Yeah, it's because my notes are really well written, Will.
So he's just like, oh yeah, I just agree with Aidan. My favourite was.
I wrote good notes. You like the wedding song, right, Will?
No, I didn't like that one. It wasn't in my top 3 either.
Get
It was
actually
really boring.
fucked and die in a ditch.
It was really boring. I'm sorry. It was just,
I hate you.
So you're saying something about her was really boring.
yes.
I see.
Okay.
I get the impression I'm the only one that likes it.
I feel like Denver won't like it. Maybe you'll surprise us though.
Maybe.
Denver's not a surprising kind of person.
I don't know. That time I picked Molly as the best song for Ian Dorr. I think that all surprised you.
That's because you were wrong.
It was very wrong. Third for me was Sorry. I thought it was quite catchy. However, it was incredibly repetitive.
I feel like a lot of the songs on this album were quite repetitive. Like I remember like doing my like kind of last final notes, skipping through the songs,
As you do.
and like 90% of the time I would skip, and it would be like the same part, just repeated.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's just like
Yeah, because a lot of the choruses were just him repeating the same line.
Yeah,
like 5 times over.
I've just checked the math on how choruses work.
That's how
choruses work.
No, that's not what we mean. I think like
Sorry, also Joe disagreed. Choruses are completely
I do.
different.
like every line in the chorus
like,
is almost
yeah,
the
it's
same.
not like that's like that song by Endor. Goes, you got to pump it up, don't you know, pump it up. It's like just repeating those 2 lines again and again.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
wouldn't you
yeah.
class that as the verse?
Yes.
Well, I mean that song is just one long. That is
Yes,
the
but
only lyric.
That is. He isn't doing that.
Are you comparing like that?
You comparing
to fucking
our man-
Tyrone Browno guy?
Tyrone to the pump it up guy.
You got to pump it up. Yeah, yeah.
Is he like who is the pump it up guy?
Endor.
No, I didn't mean the Star Wars planet. I meant who is he?
Endor.
Yeah, but
Pump
that's
it up
the word
guy.
you want, but-
He looks like just like a generic white chav.
Brooklyn guy.
Is
Pump
that his
it
name?
up. Is
Is
it?
that his name? Is he called Brooklyn Guy?
Brooklyn guy's hit single.
Pump It Up has had over 30 million views
It Up.
on there.
I didn't realise that 30 million people could
Oh yeah,
be
Endor.
collectively wrong.
It is Endor.
Oh, hello.
Hello.
Sorry.
I'm still breathing.
But, oh my god, how did you recognize it?
First 3 notes.
Jesus Christ. Sorry, that was an accident.
Was that all time low?
No, it was
Wow.
Mayday Pray Still Breathing. That's why I went, oh my god, I'm still breathing.
You got
I
the you
recognised
heard
it.
you guys heard the new all time low song.
Yeah, I quite
think
like
I have,
it.
actually.
I sent it into the chat.
Did you?
Yeah,
No.
and
It was alright.
Yeah,
when
you
the
did
day it
actually.
came out, I sent it. I also sent the Hayley Williams one in, which was trash. I'm afraid.
Yikes. Don't
Didn't
say
like
that.
it at all.
Everyone get mad.
Yeah, but I think we've both agreed with this. That if it was anyone but Hayley Williams, he would have thought it was trash as well.
It is trash, but that's not the point.
No, Greg James said it was a great song. So, and he's an
Thanks.
actual DJ. So,
I love Greg James. However, he is wrong.
Who's Greg James?
Radio 1 Breakfast DJ.
Sorry, do you want to all speak at once?
Sorry, I'll just cut Will's bit out there so only I say it.
How about we cut your bit out, Denver?
It depends.
come on.
Whichever gets
Denver's
cut
more
out.
interesting.
Whichever gets cut out more smoother is the one I cut.
Yeah, so Sorry was third. I just thought it was quite catchy. However, really like repetitive. Second for me was World at Our Feet because it was quite punchy and catchy. I quite like the bit like, how do you explain it? Where they kind of like, it's like punchy.
Would you like me to read my notes again for you?
Yeah, go on.
Immediately hits you with that the song is more than it seems. Really pulled the wool over my eye. Thinking that it was similar style to other because of its nice change of pace.
Perfect.
I said I had notes. I didn't say I wasn't autistic.
All right. It is a nice change of pace. However,
Really
Still not
pulled
that
wool
great.
over eye?
No, eyes in this case.
What? Who said that? Sorry, you're out of my peripheral listen.
I just quite like the punchiness of it. It's quite
Oh,
catchy.
you
and
would.
It's nice.
Boxer boy.
But number one was Lift Me Up. I didn't think it was going to be my number one because it's a bit like slow and stuff, but I think he shows his voice the most in it. It was the better version of the wedding-y one. What was it called again? Something About Her. I don't know.
Oh, you
I
fucking
quite.
right.
I think he shows his voice the best in this one, and I don't know. Out of all these songs, I'd say that, and it is quite a slow song, but so I didn't think it was going to be like my favorite, but yeah, it just was my best in my opinion. But again, still not a great song, really. Just don't think this album was particularly great at all, or just didn't have enough going for it, and nothing new or nothing. I don't know.
This
Just
theme
was a bit unimpressed.
certainly hasn't brought out any albums
No.
that have been
Which I
worth
thought
it.
it would.
It's because nobody makes short albums like that short.
Yeah. JMMD does.
Because realistically, like, to class them as albums at this level is barely. It's like you've put one extra song on there because nobody makes like an 8-track album. Like I think all these albums have been like 7, like literally the limit of what is classed as an album.
But then I feel like it kind of has to be that because otherwise,
It's over 30 minutes.
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
exactly.
There's almost like an unwritten rule that songs should be between like fucking 2.5 and 5 minutes long, and like that's sort of like the margin that everyone goes for. Sometimes you get bands that go for like them terrible 16-minute songs, like that one band that Joe picked.
Yeah, where you think, oh, they've changed it. Wait, it's still been the same track.
No, it's still shit.
It's still shit.
Disagree?
Like,
Yeah, well,
you know it's shit when I can drive all the way to work and it's still be on the same track.
exactly. No one wants that. They want different. They want variety, and this album did not bring that.
So, Will, any closing statements?
Wouldn't recommend.
Wouldn't.
An unpleasant listen.
Oh, God. This
I
is...
thought you said it was average.
No, I'm joking. It just wasn't great.
Oh, you got us.
Yeah, you got me.
Prank Patrol.
I don't think I'd
Got
recommend it though. I don't think it's got enough about it to recommend to anyone.
Oh no,
Unless-
absolutely.
I
I
know
absolutely know what you mean. Like,
I wouldn't go out of my way to say, "Oh, yeah, this is like an album worth listening to." I don't think it is. It's not. I've not really got anything out of it. But
you know, you walk past a man on a bench and he's like sat there scuffing his foot, and you're like, "Oh, what's wrong, friend?" And he's just like, "Oh, Mr. Davy, sir, I just really wanted to listen to an album that was all the same songs with absolutely no variation whatsoever and no effort put into the voice." And
that
like,
was Joe.
Well, listen to Tyrone and
What?
that man,
You would say there was no effort in Tyrone?
Keanu Reeves.
I think it's wasted effort, if anything. Yikes! That's a bit of a bad comment, wasn't it? But yeah,
I'm telling Tyrone on you.
I hope he's not upset.
Obama will
Does he
not be
totally
pleased.
What's he say about my son? My illegitimate child.
Oh, God. Album review.
So let's
making
move
crazy
on
links.
to Joe.
Hello.
This is where Joe bigs it up.
Picked it up. Biggie Smalls. Biggie okay. It was alright. That was a joke. Oh god. Yeah, it was alright. I enjoyed this album. It was very nice. Change. I would say I've not really heard anything like this before. Some comments to make about the album. One, it was very stripped down, I thought. There wasn't a lot of instruments. And I feel like in some songs that was cool. And then in some songs it kind of just made it a bit boring. When I say okay, I mean I did enjoy it, but I don't think any of it's particularly rememberable. I don't feel like I'm going to remember any of these songs in the future, or probably listen to them again unless it comes up. So on that note, my worst song was hard to choose because it was between Dear God and Gotta Get Up, and I ended up going
You've
with.
done a classic Joe where what I'll do is I'll put 2 down, see what everyone else picks, get a feel for it.
Actually haven't because I made my decision and I've wrote notes on it. I made my decision earlier at work.
Wow. Interesting.
Yes, thank you.
The
It's
notes
gotta
will
get up.
say, "Wait till Aidan and Will pick theirs. Pick the opposite."
that's what the note says to make
exactly
it
what I
seem
thought it did.
to seem like I'm not
I
copying.
did notes. Listen to everyone else.
It's got to get up, and the reason it's got to get up. Here are my notes anyway.
Because you have
Basically,
erectile dysfunction.
Sorry, he's like, here's my notes. He's like, milk, bread, sugar. Oh shit!
The wrong note.
That's the shopping notes. And then he goes to Tesco, and he's like, what's first on the list? Right, gotta get up. Right, where's some gotta get up?
I've already done that.
What?
I've already got up.
All
I was
right.
just laughing Denver's reaction to it. I was just like, what? Like, what the fuck?
So
Why
he has to
cut all this shit?
So,
just saying.
so then he has
Joe,
to.
remembrance?
So he has to get up, and then he realizes next on the list is Monday can wait. He goes back to bed.
Nice.
Like, gotta get up is on my to-do list, and I wake up and I'm just like, well, did that.
Got
Anyway.
up, now back to bed. Oh god.
Right, so gotta get up was my least favourite. When I was talking about earlier with the whole like stripped down thing, I feel like this is a perfect example of stripped down being not very good. Is in the sense that I felt what the song was trying to do, but I didn't feel it, if that makes sense. In the sense that it felt like it was trying to be quite groovy, but it didn't really groove with me. I didn't really feel it.
Not enough
like
screaming.
I think it was supposed to. I did like kind of the gospel parts that they did, but they got all like kind of different singers in doing like little.
Wasn't it
different
just
singing.
Tyrone? Like
Was it?
in the background? Because I'm
you
not sure if
reckon
Will said the
more
same thing. I
Tyrone?
think it is just Tyrone. There's not backing singers. It's him.
It is just him.
Why pay for backing
That's really
singers when
cool.
you could just have more Tyrone, am I right?
That's really cool. I think that kind of shows off his like how good his vocal ability.
I think
So, I think that's the thing is.
somebody's just gained a 0.5 score. I think.
No.
I mean, in fairness, most singers nowadays do harmonies. So,
Yeah.
like him just then doing a second track of him going like, "Get a groove on up." Yeah.
How
How
many harmonies is too many harmonies?
Not enough.
There's never enough.
Just like 100-track harmony.
Every octave, every note.
It's just a brrr of noise.
And then
So-
it just becomes a metal song.
Perfect.
Yikes.
One.
Come in.
I forgot what I was going to say.
Oh, I thought you said mum.
So yeah, I mean that was my least favorite song. Moving on to top three. Third favorite was "Lift Me Up," and now here's the thing about this song is I've heard it before. I know. I don't know how I've heard it or where I've heard it,
It sounds like a Joe Middle lie then.
but I was like, holy shit, I know this song, and I think this song gained extra points because I almost felt nostalgic.
It is the
The-
most
the album
popular
came out
song
last
on the
year.
album. Actually, no, it's not. No, it's not. I lied.
I swear I must have heard it on the radio because I was like, I know this, and I feel like it gained extra points because I wasn't sick of it because I never like religiously listened to it or listened to it on purpose at all, but I'd heard it. So I kind of already was in the groove of it almost. All I have written down for that is heard it before, pretty good. So I guess we move on to the next one.
Yes, let's move.
Second favorite was "Sorry." I really like the lyrics on this one, and I feel like the chorus had the best hook of all the choruses on the album. I feel like this one had the best hook. I think it was sick. I did like it. Again, all the songs were pretty groovy, very stripped down. This was more of a built up one, and I did like how it kind of built. And I like the drums. I just like everything on this one. It was very nice. Again, though, I feel like he could show off his vocals so much more if he just belted a little bit more. That's a musical term, by the way.
It isn't.
It is.
No, it isn't. It's what my dad used to do to me. Shout out. Shout out to my dad.
Shout out, Gaza.
Shout out to be brought up properly.
No, I feel like if he just like, I don't know.
Some people don't like have that ability though, Joe. You've not really taken into consideration that he might
guess
not be a
not, yeah.
belter.
I guess so.
If anything, Joe, you not being a vocalist wouldn't understand. And also, you're
In
a
some
prick.
ways, though, he's a bit like Billie Eilish.
Terrible. Yes.
Because Billie Eilish also doesn't belt things, but she knows she can't, so she stays within her lane.
Yeah, but I feel like this guy could. I feel it in him.
Why don't you ask him?
I'll message him.
What you'll have to
Yeah.
do is, I mean, I've not listened to any of his other music, but he's got some which is much more popular than this album. It'll be interesting to hear it and see, like, is it way different or
Well, it's a bit like, and this is gonna trigger you, and I'm really sorry. But it's a bit like Hayley Williams in the fact that she used to put so much more energy into her old stuff, and now she just doesn't. She doesn't like shout and belt it out as much as she used to. It's kind of just all very chilled out and just doesn't really put much effort in anymore.
I think there's a difference between effort and belting it out.
I know what you mean. But I disagree.
Then again, you think
in
metal
Hayley
is
Williams' case anyway.
effort, so
Metal is effort.
Not actually playing it. It's easy as shit.
Anyway, no,
and singing it's easy as well.
Yeah, to be fair.
Definitely not. Can I hear a metal scream from yourself?
No.
You don't have to. Because anyone could do it.
Exactly.
You just have to stab a
it's
child.
Because it's hard to do.
No.
Yeah, but then again, so slamming your penis in a window. It just takes willpower, Joe, and I don't have it.
I've tried, and I have
Screaming?
willpower.
You don't have willpower.
You literally don't.
I would say if someone said who has the least willpower
In this group.
it's Joe.
That's only because I can't quit smoke.
And who has the most willpower? It's Will, because he has default bonus stats to willpower.
Bonus willpower. And it's not just that, Joe. It's your inability to not spend money when it's in your hand.
All right, let's move on from this.
And,
well, let's
yeah,
not. I
and
want
the
to talk
smoking
about
thing.
this more. And the smoking.
All right.
And the fact that you can't not listen to metal. Because apparently that's your drug now, so now we find that you're addicted. That's why you like it.
I enjoy it.
Wrong. I enjoy heroin.
I was just about to make a heroin joke.
I know. I can feel it.
I could feel it in my veins.
We don't make enough jokes about the party drug heroin.
I know the classic party drug.
Just a cheeky bit of heroin.
Oh, that's a doggo.
That's my guard dog.
It's a doggo. My favourite was, and Will, I don't know how you didn't like this, something about her. So
A wedding song.
Such a good wedding song. I feel like I've got a thing for wedding songs because when we did Dan and Shay at Speechless wedding song, like something about her.
You've got the canola virus or whatever it is.
I think I know.
Canola.
I know. I drank too much Corona.
I got all these vitamins.
Although that'll all be solved by the time this video goes out.
Nah, I don't know what you're talking about.
Or we'll be dead.
Or we'll be dead.
Or, yeah, I was going to say, all millions dead.
So, let us know in how bad it got.
In the comment section below, if you can let us know.
Oh, God.
I mean, who even likes seeds, am I right? This granola virus is getting out of hand.
Oh, God.
Terrible. What? Come on now.
I just got that.
Joe's lagging behind.
I know, I'm sorry. Yeah, I feel like in regards to the way Sorry had the best hook, I feel like he used his vocals to the best of his ability in something about her. I loved the whole melody of it, was just very nice, and I really enjoyed it. Closing remarks on that. He's bold.
True.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Denver.
It is I.
Denver.
I could not disagree with you all more. I thought this was fantastic.
Fucking hell.
Oh my God, really?
I thought all of them, it was just a solid, I thought, well-rounded, complete album. I thought all the songs contrasted well, even in the order they were in. I feel like Gotta Get Up was a great start. Dear God there's a nice finisher to the album. And then they had each song, I feel like the order was well structured. I feel like each one contrasted the one before well. Even though I may have not then liked the one after as much, the one that then followed them I then always liked more. I feel like a lot of the songs did have the same sort of progressive build-up that Aidan was talking about, but he said it doesn't quite satisfy at the end. But I thought they did, and I thought they were all, well, most of them were really good. The ones I disliked the most were the slower, more boring ones. Even though they did provide good contrast for the other songs, I thought Lift Me Up and Something About Her were the worst two songs. But I listed Something About Her as the worst song. I didn't like that because Lift Me Up I still kind of liked, but Something About Her I found boring, and it felt like it dragged on.
Wounded.
Yep.
Is what I'd say, and it was. Oh no, it wasn't even the longest song actually, so I can't even say it. But it felt like it was longer because it was slower, I think. And overall, I thought his voice was really good, and I didn't feel like it sounded like he needed to go a bit more. I felt like it was pretty nice as was. My third favorite song was was Gotta Get Up, because it was between Gotta Get Up and Dear God as my two third favorites. But Gotta Get Up was just a bit more upbeat, and I thought it was a really good intro. Like when we first started to play the album, hearing that was like, oh, it's pretty upbeat. I like upbeat songs. Cool. Second,
this is just such a curveball.
I know, right? I
am shocked. I was like, what the fuck? I thought we were all just going to settle on this is an okay album and leave it at that. Let it just like be half buried in its hole.
No, I'm surprised by what you guys said. It's like when Joe said it was very like acousticy or whatever, or like lacked and it sound very stripped down. I didn't think that at all because I'm not usually a fan of stripped down songs. I thought second favorite was World at Our Feet. Really good song. It felt like, because he did that whole effect of harmonizing his voice and layering it, it felt like it could have, like if he performed it live, he could have performed it with like an orchestra behind him, and it would have like helped it feel more grand. It felt like a grand song, and I feel like the same was for my favorite, which none of you mentioned, and it was my favorite by a mile, and that was Monday Can Wait.
Yeah.
I fucking love that song. I could listen to it on repeat. I felt like it just had such a good feel to it. And I thought it was one that did actually feel powerful. And I really liked the hook in it.
Goddamn hooks.
And you know how I love my hooks.
Mm.
And again, what I've realised, this album made me finally discover what I like in songs. And it is contrast.
Okay.
Because, like, how in previous songs, you know when I've said, like, I like when they have, like, that... when it's, like, an upbeat song that has that stripped-down moment where it's just, like, a guy and a guitar for, like, a line or two. Because that, like, greatly contrasts the rest of the song. Even though he didn't have that in this album. But I'm just sort of saying what I like in songs to have. And I feel like, as well as the individual songs having good contrast, a lot of them, the whole album did. Because it kind of alternated between a more upbeat one and then a slower one. And, yeah. So overall, I thought it was really good, and by far the best 30-minute album we've had.
I'm hoping it is the best 30-minute album, because like I certainly prefer it to the others. Sorry, what was that, Will?
Nothing.
The Weekend wasn't good. He should change his name to The Weekday.
But maybe that's what's
even.
helped this rating, though, because The Weekend was so bad. Maybe if we'd have just had a really good album last week, I'd have thought this was okay, but listen to it this week, I thought this was fantastic. So
I think his Neck Deep was awful as well.
Yeah, it was bad.
Like,
I've
I've seen a couple of their videos on YouTube videos, and I'm like, why doesn't he? What he sings now? Why didn't he sing in that? Why did he have to scream over everything?
Anyway,
says the metal fan.
Ratings. Aidan.
6.5.
Will.
4.
Joe.
6.5.
Me. 7.5.
Damn.
Jesus.
It scores. Oh
Give it a
shit! I've broken the spreadsheet.
He's broke the spreadsheet.
24.5.
Woo!
Oh, it's a good average album.
Slightly less than average.
Well, having said that now,
no one liked The Weekend.
I think that is above average. Like, we obviously call 26 as like the solid good album, but like we haven't had an album score above 26 for a while. Well, apart from State Champs, but
yeah,
I thought it was a really good album.
Cool.
Surprising, and it probably if it was longer, like a normal like that, it probably have only got like a 7 or 6.5. But the fact that I feel like when an album is shorter, like it worked, that album worked well in that format.
It was
I've-
almost it added to it. Like it was its strength as
I was
well
gonna
as its
say-
weakness.
I would feel like if like that album was longer, I think I'd get. If I'm honest.
Yeah, it might get a bit samey, and then you'd be like, oh,
Yeah.
and it might be difficult to tell the difference. But because it was short enough, it was like you could. I don't know. It was good. So, you ready for the next album pick now?
Sure am. What is it?
It's a throwback. It's
Oh.
a redemption album.
Yeah.
It's Zed Clarity
Yeah. Yeah.
Fucking hell.
Deluxe
Okay.
Edition.
Oh.
Okay.
oh.
But
Suddenly I'm not as
ignore the
excited.
remixes because they just
What?
because it's just existing songs on the album remixed.
All right. Okay.
So
One has
so it's
Skrillex
only
on it.
so it's basically only to 13.
Right.
Oh,
One has Skrillex on.
Yeah. Well,
This is a
remix.
long ass album.
A
No,
remix.
you just
So,
didn't realize how short the ones we just have had.
Yeah.
This is a proper callback.
Oh no, it is actually quite a long album. 1 hour 14 minutes.
Oh, I actually know the Skrillex song.
Yeah, but that's a remix.
Oh.
Well, actually no shit, they're not all remixes. Like the last song isn't a remix. So I guess we
You
can.
say we're doing the Deluxe edition.
Yeah, the Deluxe.
Yeah.
Because it has Hayley Williams on it.
Okay.
Yay.
Woo.
So there we go.